At the beginning of this project, I didn't anticipate having any issues with parts availability or options really, because so many people modify the suspension and upgrade suspension parts or components on Supras. That's probably one of the most common modifications on any of these. Because I wanted a more stock setup, I looked into immediately just getting OEM arms and ordering them from the dealer, which, I mean, like this front, I don't have the exact prices for all of them like in my head, but this front lower control arm is like $600. That was like one of the better prices I could find where I could get it like locally and not shipped to me. So you're at like $1,200 there. Then you still need 6 other arms. I mean, it's easily a $3,000 ordeal if you're trying to get into that. So I wanted to find a better system and some way that I could do this more economically, but also not in a way that was like compromising the quality of what I was doing. So I tried to make the most sense money-wise. And I know that sounds ridiculous because I shipped all of my control arms to the UK. But it did make sense. I, through Instagram, found out about Unrivaled Supras, which is, his name is Andy, and he replaces all of these ball joints in all of the arms on Supras. So he went through, he did that on my rear upper, rear lower, and front lower control arm, which all look great. That looks awesome. I opted for, yeah. I opted for a replacement, just like an aftermarket replacement. This is just like a Dorman unit here, which I just press bushings out of. But I don't know, Dorman seems like they make a lot of aftermarket stuff. I figured I'd run it cost-wise. It seemed to make a lot of sense, and I don't see why it wouldn't work out. Maybe it won't last as long. I don't really know the answer to that, but I will report back. And I also have my original OEM one, which I ultimately do plan to send out to Andy just to have. So that's good to go. The other part that I had sort of an issue with was looking for these top hats that I was going to use. So I got KYB AGX Shocks, and I already had the IBOX springs because originally I did a bunch of reading online and people talked about the IBOX springs, the IBOX lowering springs, and Bilstein shocks. And so I was like dead set on doing that just because so many people had such positive feedback about it. But Bilstein doesn't make the Supra shocks anymore, so I was kind of left with this. I mean, a lot of the parts, because this car is getting to the point where everybody slaps on coilovers and they have lots of coilover options. But this type of stuff is definitely like dying off. So I got the IBOX springs, IBOX lowering springs. I got KYB AGXs, which I liked for the fact that I could adjust dampening. So if I did hate the way they were, you know, at least I'd have some adjustability as opposed to some other stuff that was out there where it's just like, that's how it's going to be forever. So at least I've got an option there. Then when it came to the top hats, I had an issue because I really couldn't find aftermarket stuff by like, for the front at least. For the rear, I could find some stuff. But there was an SC300 listing for top hats made by KYB, and I kind of wanted to keep it all KYB sort of so that I could, I mean, it's a known brand that I felt comfortable with, and it wasn't just some like Rock Auto trash that was going to be awful. So I ordered the SC300 top hats, which are that part number right over here, this SM5564. I researched it up and down. I went on all the forums and everything to try and see, parts interchangeability between Supras and SC300s. There was no clear answer or nothing said about top hats that I could find. I mean, I'm a lunatic with online research, so I dug and dug and dug and could not get the actual answer. So ordered it, tried it. The KYB website doesn't even say it works, but it does, which is super cool. My next issue was I ordered a strut boot kit, like a universal sort of one. I didn't realize that it was a universal one, but it was listed for my car on Rock Auto. So I ordered that. When I got it, the big thing was that it was missing this rubber isolator up here. This is all one piece. The OEM one is all one piece where it has the isolator in the boot. So I ended up having to order this as an OEM part, which took a little bit to get because I had to order. Well, I didn't have to order it from Japan, but I did get it from Japan. I saved some money there. Interestingly enough, it's cheaper to buy from Japan and get it delivered here than to just buy it at a dealership here. Thanks, America. But yeah, so I did that, waited for it. The only thing I'm waiting on still is one of the front bump stops because I ordered boots and bump stops from Toyota. So yeah, SC300, top hat, Supra, shock, strut boot, and bump stop, iBox springs, KYB AGX shocks. That whole setup works. So if you're trying to do something similar to this, it's not really documented anywhere, but that all works. The other thing is with my aftermarket bushings, I got polyurethane bushings for everything because there was a few things I wanted to try out there and just replace all the old rubber. That was another big part that I wanted to do. So I ordered these Prothane bushings right here. These are also SC300 bushings. So this I actually found a really good write-up on Supra Forums where somebody had gone through the whole thing and talked about everything about these, very well documented. And I'll put a link to that too, that same thread that I read through. It's a whole build thread and there's very detailed pictures and they go through everything with these Prothane bushings, even including saying that they ordered the SC300 kit, showing the instructions and everything. So I knew that that would fit. The big hang up was I had kind of a miscommunication with Andy when he redid these arms, and he pressed out these metal collars that go in the front lower control arm. The Prothane kit is designed to keep that collar in there, and when you don't have it, it just causes a lot of extra space, so that's obviously not going to work. But I talked with him, and you can see it's all loosey-goosey. Talked with him. He sent over this kit, which is super cool. And actually, I'll just show you on this back one here. But this does not require that metal collar, so that just fits in there. And problem solved. So that was super cool, and I appreciate that he worked with me on that. Now I just have some red bushings and some black bushings, which I'm going to have to make peace with that as I sleep at night. And every night when I close my eyes, I'm going to think about that red set of bushings that's on my car that doesn't match all the black ones. But it's going to work, and it's going to be great. I also got these SuperPro sway bar end links. I kind of was looking around all over for them. I really didn't want to get something super cheap, like Rock Auto style. So I ended up getting these. The two part numbers are on there, but it's like TRC 1045 and TRC 1035 for front and rears. The interesting thing about their website is that if you go on their website and if you enter anything other than a 1993 Toyota Supra, these won't pop up. But in the application list, these fit a ton of different cars. So if you type in just 1993 Toyota Supra, you'll get these two, and you can order them up and they'll fit your car. But it was just kind of overly complicated figuring out what was going to fit there. They had kind of a sale going on with SuperPro, and I was interested in like running some of their products. So I don't know. I wanted to try it out, and we'll see how it goes. A lot of adjustability there, so I think that's cool. And maybe I'll do like an aftermarket sway bar in the long run. I don't really know. Once I get it all together, I'll kind of see. So that's kind of a breakdown of all the stuff that I ordered and, you know, how we got to this point. Over the next month or so, we're planning to throw all this stuff on there depending on our availability. We only work like 1 day a week, sometimes 2 days a week on this at night after our children go to bed and our significant others aren't angry with us and all of that. So, you know, we're working on it. But really looking forward to getting out and driving it. The weather here in Wisconsin is getting better. Now next week, it's going to be like 70 degrees. I think there's even an 80-degree day or some craziness like that. You don't think so?
What?
I'm serious. Like, it legit says 80 degrees. Okay, maybe I'm a liar. Don't follow our channel for weather advice. But regardless, it is going to be very nice out, and that kind of gets the project moving faster because, you know, these sit for so long. We want to get out as soon as we can. We've had a lot of good rain here lately, and hopefully all that salt's off the road so we can get out and have fun. I'm really just trying to make it happen and get to on the 17th of June. There is a big show where Supras go to at Sound Performance in Illinois, and that's what we're trying to get to.
And we might have some other footage on some other things that might go to that same show, right?
Sure.
Maybe a V8 powered car.
Oh.
Maybe a 4-cylinder powered.
Oh yeah.
Toyota.
Oh yeah. We've got a couple other cars. We're kind of planning on doing a little caravan down there, which is going to be, yeah, maybe. I don't know. These are classic vehicles that require a lot of upkeep. So, you know, getting 3 or 4 of them to run all at the same time is tricky business. But I'm really looking forward to that. And I mean, that's like my hard deadline. However, you know, I obviously just want to get it out. I mean, it's been a long time sitting here. So we're going to get back with you the next time. And hopefully a ton of this stuff on the floor here is going to be on there. Thanks for watching.